I forgot to hit record. But I already had to criticize. How could I forget to hit record? Did I record something? I didn't mean to then. Where do we even leave off? Yeah, we left off at the boomer station. We'll just go through quickly. This is exactly as you remember it for the most part. And he brings up the whole thing. And he's like, I could Google it, but she wants to reveal at a dramatic moment. Which is, like, I get it. Right? I get it. And then he... Oh, is that... No, right. But the big problem that I have with this, right, is Enon is like, I'll respect Live Long, and I'll respect her phone, and then he doesn't. By my oath of shitposting, Shadowbreak this Covenant and Peak, and she just laughs, and then he's like, no, and then he peeks. When this could be, you could reveal this later, right? Make this the thing they bond over. Like, I go to shitty forums, you go to shitty forums. Why are we revealing this now? Because the author doesn't fucking understand how to convert something. Let me get a book out, right? Let me get a book out. Let me get a book out that contains my feelings perfectly. You're gonna love this. Shit. Okay, so I have a book, and that book is called Legends of Localization, right? The book is about what it means to localize material. And it takes you through the fine steps of what it means to localize. Where's the section that I'm looking for? I know there's a section in this, or was that in the other book? Legend of Localization, by the way, is one that I would heartily recommend for anyone who gives a shit about stuff like this. It's an introduction, then? Because I remember at some point he takes you through the steps of, like, what localization looks like. Oh, strange. I remember that he goes into detail on this. I guess it's in the other book. Hold on! I'm gonna take a look. I hate this stupid little book cover. Like, I get it, it's adorable, but on the other hand, no. It's really annoying. It's annoying as hell. Oh my god, it's covered in Danish. Oh man. Mandy. Oh. The Earthbound book is just, it's just, ugh. Man, that spine saw something. I read this book a long while ago. I forgot when, but it got me through a rough time, man. Oh, this book's just fucking great. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, basic stages of text localization, page 32. So, here's how you localize stuff, right? You have the original, then you have the raw translation, then you have the clarification, then you have the adaptation. This is what localization is. Let me read you. Raw translation is basically you take the words and you take them around. So in a foreign language, oh G-san says, I'm gonna punch your lights out. The raw translation is, I will break all the light bulbs in your home with my hand. The clarification is, I'm gonna hit you. However, adaptation says, I hope you're thirsty because I brought some punch. So the basics are, you start off with the original, you turn it into a rough translation, then you clarify, aka you find the actual intent of the sentence. The adaptation and editing preserves the grander context of it. Because the original is supposed to be like a little wordplay, a little joke. And a clarification would preserve like here we go. Clarification is similar to raw translation, except that some portions of the text are altered to clarify the intent of the meaning of the original line. Less fancy college talk. Clarification usually involves rephrasing things like show cultural references, idioms, proverbs, speech notes, and everything else. Adaptation is partially overlaps with clarification. Basically, it's when the translated text is revised in some way to make it sound more natural to the new target audience. God, this book, man, I've read it twice. It's so fucking good. It's also fun because I love trivia. So my problem with this writing, right, is if all you do is preserve the original, you're doing raw translation. I'm not here for that. No one is. No one just wants to see Anon prancing about. Where is your effort, author? Where is your effort? This is at best clarification. You missed the adaptation. You missed the potential of making the Lizard Lounge something for later down the line that Anna notices when he sees her phone lying down, and he's like, wait, what the fuck? You're on Lizard Lounge? I'm on Lizard Lounge. And they have that moment. You could have had this be a moment where she's like, oh, so you're a girl, Anon? I didn't guess that about you. That would have been so fucking cute. Anon should know what this is. Oh, man. And it could have been a cute moment, but now that they're in the car and everyone else is there, it doesn't work as well. Because now it's spread around and it can't be as emotional and vulnerable because, you know, there's other people to concern. The social context doesn't allow them to have fun with this. Anyway, here we go. Wrapped to Jesus and the Holy Spirit, forgive me for my weakness, but I quickly found myself glancing towards her for a sneak peek. How the fuck is Olivia this stupid? That she just leaves her phone open anyway. Lizard Lounge? Emit? Lizard Lounge? Wait, the Lizard Lounge? Well, that's a fucking curveball. Olivia scrolls a fucking Saurian femcel. She's too young to be a fucking femcel, though. Jesus, she's like, what, 18? She's in a wheelchair? She cares more about art? It's gotta be ironic, Anon. I have to throw a hand over my mouth and look away to quickly hide the forming tears. This is so unexpectedly fitting. I would have known mortal enemies would meet in such a way. Yeah, I would have preferred it was like a more meaningful moment because this is just significant. And you're doing it in like the car scene. Are we keeping the racial segregation joke? We're keeping the racial segregation joke, which means I'm just going to pause the recording. I'm going to read everything so I have the full context. And we're just going to start after that's over. Because like I said, man, this could have been this. I'm gonna tell you. You'll know when I'm done. Okay? Pause time. Boss has to pull up his britches and see if this is if you know author man actually did his homework or just copied it from the guy over who didn't know what he was doing. I'd like to point out that he's like I sound like a boomer playing dumb like this, but I would like to point out, Anon, that you know what this is. You probably either through your expressions because you're not a subtle person, or through your mumbling should have revealed this. Again, moments for fun, for character. Yeah, this isn't that bad. It's not great, but I do like that he goes like 3 guys in the comments are like she looks like, and he goes she looks like she fucked human men. I'm all too aware how that phrase ends, and soliciting it prior to a friend feels wrong. Why are we handling Anon's online culture if like Olivia technically would agree with him on a lot of this bullshit? I may have overreacted, and I will admit to it openly because this scene is not bad. I'm not gonna read it because it's mostly what you expect. It's a little Anon bits in between that kind of work. I still don't know how much of this is the original scene, so how about I take away my common courtesy of not looking up the source material to compare it to, because if you're just gonna fucking copy-paste it, I have the right to do so. High score Gator. Racial segregation. Oh, he does straight up tell me about the racial segregation. Oh yeah, Liz originally said don't say it. Oh, they're skipping the whole, like, the other part of this joke where they're, like, about the attention span, huh? Let's go for it. I'm more partial to Saurian and human crime stats, and honestly, the graph she's showing me sucks. It's been saved, screenshot, blown out so many times. Look at that graph. Yeah, man, that deep-fried JPEG, fresh from the barbecue. Why do you deep-fry something on the barbecue, Safi? For fuck's sake. As I inspect the graph, Olivia tries to gauge my reaction. I weigh my choices heavily. Ignore this and drop it, or potentially out myself and end up sharing an interest indirectly with her. She already looks like she suspects me of knowing more than I let on. May I see a post? I ask as innocently as possible. Olivia seems to have her own internal war. It'd be like breaking an oath. Oh ho ho. She'd be losing it if only she knew. Well, are there any weirdo humans active right now? She checks back on the main page, refreshing once and twice. Yes, someone just posted this. Copy-paste about dino girls with an unsuitable for work picture on it. She slumps and angles the phone to her chest more. Smart, she realized I might glance it off the window beside her. Well, that's really involved. And on what context did you learn that skill? I contemplate my next move carefully. Not that admittedly, if the window's really reflective, that's really easy to just pick up on it. She would have considered me a race traitor if it were possible to be found out. And you're the biggest race trader, considering what happens in Sneak. I lean in, which Olivia shrinks from to hide her phone more. Call them a spoon-eared long pig with shit pate. I return to my normal seating position, watching as her confusion morphs into intrigue. Watching knowing gaze, she types up a response. She spends the next few minutes splitting her attention between me and refreshing the page. Suddenly she sits up. Whoa. She accidentally angles her phone. I can spot what she sees now. I can't make it out, but it's a massive paragraph now about seething at her. Oh no. Although Anon did point this out earlier, right? He was like, where was it? Yeah, here. We made us feel totally gay and take the wind out of us. They called us cringe. He gave her This is great! I just wish this wasn't in the fucking car, right? B-. I wish it wasn't in the car. It's just so much weirder with like two completely normal people in the background. Ugh. I can't make it out, but it's a massive paragraph, no doubt seething at her. /poll. How would you say this? Do you say /poll/? Because I thought the second slash was considered, you know, it's just /poll or poll. Poll, forgive me. It's like those if the native saurians were getting access to guns instead of small. War has changed, my fellow poet. No, it hasn't. That's like the whole point. Olivia's unadulterated shock turns to a cautious smile. How did you know? I know your enemy, Olivia. I know your enemy. Yeah, you're the enemy now? Great. Good job, you fucking moron! I keep it cool, my heart's fucking pounding as I turn to face out the window. As we travel into an underpass, a reflection glints visibly for a moment, and I see Olivia smiling at me curiously. And I hear her claws tapping away. Jesus, stop hitting your screen with the claws! Undoubtedly rallying the troops. About the time those meteor dodges evolve, the next campaign will be much more interesting. Were they really that simple? How are you're a race trader, Adam? You gave away the secrets that gave you the power. Like you said, you gave him guns. I don't know if it'll be much more interesting, because if they pick up on this, Anon, you'd have to subvert. You have to get smart, and I don't know if you're smart enough for that. You'd be taking orders and left in the dirt when everything goes down. Damien is busy gussing to Liz about the $1 hot dogs he used to sell at the arcade, and Liz is quick to caution him that he shouldn't get them if they're still $1. I agree, saying there must be rat dogs at that point. Damien's unfazed, if anything. If anything, more excited at the prospect. Olivia's rocking, giggling to herself, she taps away. The hell have I done? I was just an impression she was already in shitpost culture, would be aware of what bait was. It feels really weird for her to have that innocence. Like, half the point is that she was, you know, what Inko wasn't. And shifting her the other, like, at that point, what are we even doing here, right? Just make it more overt. Although, I guess it is. She's weirdly soft, in a weird way. The rest of the ride is filled with Damien's tales of his and Olivia's adventure at the old stomping grounds. Olivia finally puts her phone away when she realizes she needs to weigh in on to correct his over-embellishment in pretty much every sentence. She's practically glowing after winning however many flame wars she's just waged through. Damn it, she's tired. Her fingers are tired. She can't video game no more. There's no video in her future. Soon enough, we pull into the parking lot, the city towering around us like a massive hedge maze. It's noisy, reeks, and kinda sucks if you take it in from the ground level. But hey, it's a new experience, right? Sure it's hard to lie to yourself when you're choking on exhaust and hobo stink drifting on the winds, though. The arcade has large windows covered in sun-bleached leaflets with an overall run-down facade. The place must be twice as old as any of us. That's not that old for a business, I'd say. Actually, no, arcades would be like in the 80s, and Anon is like, what, 2000? So yeah, that would be about 40 years. Huh. Must have been happening at some point. But who actually plays at arcades anymore? Liz pops. I mean, there are some like didn't that 8-bit guy like open like an arcade because he wants to? Like, sure, maybe as a business venture, as just an arcade, it doesn't work, but you can build around it. Be a community center or something. I don't know. Liz pops the trunk, and I take it upon myself to get Olivia's chair out. I mean, not that I have much of a choice, since Damien immediately takes a break for the entrance without a care in the world. With Liz still unwinding herself from the interior, it leaves just me to help Olivia out. Things aren't any easier to set up than it was to close it, coupled with the fact that I'm reluctant to put too much force in these well-used parts. I'm not having an easy time. Olivia watches me, her legs limply hanging out of the car. She's kind of kicking at the air, you know. You know what it is. Looking far too amused at my expense. Just I'm about to debase myself and ask for a pointer, I press the release button and get cracked on the jaw by one of the armrests. Olivia laughs raucously. Raucously? Hold up! I need to know how this word is said. Come on, Google, you always provided me with a cute little...
Raucous.
Raucously. Oh, it's ruckus! Raucously. Thank you. Same word as ruckus. Hell yeah! laughs raucously as I shoot up and of my crouched stance and rub my jaw. Fuck, man, I'm suing you for that one. Consider yourself in the suit. No one would take an act of stupidity, Suit. Now move. Jump back as she locks the brakes and throws herself into a chair with a loud crack. I'm not carrying you when you inevitably break that thing. I want to give you the pleasure. She sticks her tongue out at me as she rolls by, gloating. Olivia, Liz, and I follow after Damien, who excitedly calls out for us to hurry the entire time. Oh, we gotta go to the arcade music now. We're in the arcade! Wow! When we enter, my eyes spasm in an attempt to differentiate the burning LEDs from the massive swaths of darkness everywhere. That's not even mentioning the cacophony of every machine mixed with the cheers of large crowds of gamers all throughout. Large crowds of gamers. Dude, this place is the bomb! Damien is practically vibrating now. We used to scrounge for change when we came to come here after school. Oh, at school. Oh, gosh. I like how this is a really sudden law that Damien's not that wealthy or does not know how to finance and budget his allowance. Liz scowls as she audibly peels her boot from the floor. Damien, you could have warned me about... But the ecstatic Dilo is already sprinting off into the crowded luminescence. What? What is... What? I could have told you too, Olivia admits. I could have guessed. Sorry, Liz. Why didn't anyone warn me? Well, this was dropped last... What, this was dropped on me last second? Wait. Well, this was dropped on me last second. Why are you switching to Olivia when Liz talked last? I guess order of operations. But I remember this place pretty well. Oh, great. Liz seems to perk up at that rather than get angry. You can join on a round, and I'll go with Damien. Ah, so that's the play. She puts two finger guns up. She finger guns? Wait, did she finger gun the original? Man, the music's ballin' though. You can show Inko and all around, and I'll go with Damien. Liz meekly puts her pointer fingers together as she looked like a salmon-fried teen. She's thinking about the kissing! Just kiss already! Those two-player gun thingies look fun. You mean the light gun games? Yeah, those ones. This was definitely her plan, so I rib her a bit. Sounds great. Damien's a strapping guy. I'm sure he'd love to get up close and personal, showing you just how to play. Oh yeah, in the original, Inko doesn't tease her because that's not what Inko does. He's a big pudding boy. He's a soft little lab. Do you think? Her entire neck and face flash pink in an instant. Damien, wait up! Olivia and I are both left snickering to ourselves now. Pretty psyched, actually. It often isn't just us. I mean, it was this fucking morning before Damien showed up. You know, to get to know her away from the odd stuff, that too. That's the definition I was looking for. I'm about to ask Olivia where she wants to go first. Before I realize she's already reeling away and looking back at me impatiently. Come already! Putting our gator in a wheelchair. We quickly change out our paper money for coins. With coins? With coins? At a nearby dispenser. You aren't exchanging your paper money by using coins. You are changing them for coins. With Olivia having much more at her disposal. Damn poverty. What, her poverty or yours? You can't just call people poor, Anon. Olivia looks surprisingly disinterested as her eyes rove the numerous cabinets. The silver iris is bound from game to game, reflecting with a pearlescent sheen under the rainbow LEDs flashing all around us. I can't keep up with her eyes, so I begin checking them out for myself. Pretty good selection, all in all. House of the Dead, Mario, we're just no gruggification. Turok 2, Clawing Back from Hell, as well as a myriad of rigged carny games and skill games alike. Just sort of walk in circles at first, so I find myself trying to suggest something. So, Olivia, any game you want to play first? Anything? She's prone to overthinking, and if it was something more my speed, I'd be in the same boat. So I take the initiative. Of course you have to. You're the manly man. I keep hamming on this, but it really does feel like it's, oh, I'm the manly man, I gotta talk first, I gotta do first, everything me. I get that from a player perspective, that makes sense, but Anon's passive. He's not supposed to do everything for everyone. Olivia's supposed to take charge of anything. She always had a bit of a spice to her, a little fire, you know? Bullshit. Right now, no thinking. Favorite game, go. A favorite game? The command didn't elicit the expected response, but in fact it's just better. I expect at least one wallop. With the wallop glove. Yes, your favorite game? Something perhaps game-like? One that you prefer? One that you favor, Anon. You can say favor. That way it sounds way nastier. Oh, so she stifles a look of surprises with the curse. Fine. My favorite. She doesn't tarry much longer, making way to a large screen in one of the building's corners. She's shooting a game with a simple box art of peeling graffiti style with a ruined robber's tag. Damn it. Olivia slumps over in a fuming pout for some reason. That's not the response I expected for a favorite. The follower gazed at the base of the machine. A slanted, glimmering plate split down the middle is attached to the machine. They updated it. That's a bad thing? The face falls into a depressive frown as she eyes that particular plate. Olivia, I'm all but medically stupid. What's wrong? A small upturn takes place at the corner of her mouth, but she remains largely despondent as she explains. They added a foot pedal for the cover action. I walk up and test it myself. The demo screen mirrors my action, overlaid with ass scores on the top 10. Take a moment to immaturely span the pedal and the character rapidly teabags. Turn my head back just in time to see Olivia roll her eyes, smile still forlorn. She begins rolling away, barely audible over the electronic din of the building. Let's just go. Before. She turns back, venomous glare shifted from the machine to me. Didn't you hear? I can't. I span the pedal once more and her eyes are drawn to the teabagging robber on screen. She's wide-eyed at the realization, and I change my foot rhythm to the tempo of Jeopardy waiting theme as I smile at her. I don't know what that is, actually. I feel like I should. It takes great effort not to laugh out loud at her goofy expression as she runs the calculations in her head. She quickly rolls back and snatches the gun from the machine's holster. I think I was forcing her with how grim her face was. Fine! One game. Still, something looks off about the color in her face, even considering the white light she's bathed in by the game. You better do your job right, Anon. I nod at her and she sidles up next to me at the machine. I offer my hand before thinking better. She's not really a touchy-feely person. That's definitely minimum semicolon. The gesture before was mostly invitational, but so I doubt she'd take me. She grabs my hand before I can fully retract it, and I feel a coolness of it. I thought she was warm! My mind goes blank. The alarms, however, then your mind didn't go blank, because your mind is still the alarms. Just say that I can't think of anything but the alarms. It's way better. Way better at, like, what this means, like how invasive it feels sometimes. Initiating DEFCON protocols. Gator girl handhold detected. That's 2 alliterations at once. How the fuck is this different from earlier? Lewd actions. Jesus Christ, Anon. Did you really get talked into that by the lefties and their massive propaganda campaign to make you think that handholding is illegal? Initiating panic procedure. She's a bro. That just makes you gay. Has been raised to. What DEFCON do you have for gay, Anon? Ah. The alarms are silenced in an instant when a vice grip upon my wrist threatens to slice my ankle from my body. Cover! Cover! Damn it, Anon! When I squeeze you, hit the pedal! The game already started, so I'm quickly following it painfully. Not so fucking tight. Hit the damn pedal! Playing with controller lag. Except you can't buy another one of me! Says you, Anon. Holy crap, this is worse than I remember. Hi, it's me, I'm the guy that makes sense. And here you can see I put respawning enemies in front of places first across, and I came up with it. They were eating a bird. I don't even want to stay for myself. Fucking damn it, not again! If you threaten to snap me in two, at least I'll try to be trash! What the fuck did you say to me? I'd like to see you try to use a bolt skinny for your legs. See that enemy? Yeah. Ah, the yellow one! Stop making immediately cover. His shots are stacking. Fucking it up! Oh, you're so smart, hon. Then why don't you... Oh, fuck that! See, this is what... I mentioned this before. I hope I did. It's that interruptive text, like descriptive text, does break the flow of conversation. And, like, you could put intermissions here, but having it just be this leaves it to our imagination how fucking stupid they are. It's great. She's about to admit I'm right when she's domed by an enemy just on the periphery. Oh, this game sucks. Want to play again? She does not experience gamer rage. She's constantly dripping with rage from start to finish. This is the fire Damien mentioned. Where the fuck did it go earlier? Marked me down as scared and oddly endeared. Oddly aroused. I agree, under the caveat that I get to regain feeling in my hand first. She actually sheepishly apologized and lets me do so. I desperately shake it like a limp fish and let the blood flow. Pins and needles, pins and needles. We end up playing another 4 or 5 game. 4 or 5. What a specific number. Though she almost tears my whole arm off the first few times, and although she almost tears my whole arm off the first few times, she comes to trust my judgment in covering over her own. By the last game, she's released me completely and we work in sync like we're of one mind, barely missing the top 10 by a couple hundred points. I mean, that's going to happen because you can both make the same inferences, right? You can both make the judgment call and when to dodge. And if anything, you're two brains. Like, you're doing separate actions that are not, there's no teamwork here. There's just one task for each person, right? So there's no real problem. Like, why does she need to instruct you to do this? You can just pay attention to yourself. Inko needed that because he's a fucking idiot. Anon, you know video games. That's probably enough. Her voice is light and almost musical as she places her gun away. I'm ready to move on. You? After almost getting the 10th spot, you sure? You never keep us here all day. Besides, it's always next time. Next time. That's good, right? Still disappointed they changed it, but thanks. No problem. It was fun, even considering the reputation. It wasn't that bad, you wuss. Definitely was. You almost broke your most important controller. Most important? High hopes there. I don't know. You were holding on pretty desperately. Shut. Hold on, I need to check something that I just remembered. I will say this chapter has been decent so far. We're actually going places, meeting people. But let's just enjoy the music a little bit. Like, I know. There. Alright. The powdery glare is slightly undercut by how flustered of a look she has. And there were those better games anyways. Why did you say that twice? She's not that flustered. If she's flustered, make her stutter a little bit or something. Let's go. You know what you could do differently? Is you can just put a little dash here like she's interrupting herself and just goes to let's go. Like she knows she's going to start stumbling and rambling. Looking around for myself, it strikes me what brought us here in the first place. Hot Wheels. Damien's story in particular comes to mind, and I can't help but feel that what I just witnessed wasn't the fire he meant. Not fully, at least. Grab one of her chair handles, stopping the sullen gator in her tracks. She quickly turns herself back to me in surprise. Before I can morph into annoyance and bend over me to her eyes, I've actually got something in mind. I'm close enough for her to feel her hot Why would her breath be hot? She's cold-blooded. Her insides are not, like, uniquely hotter than her outsides. Right? I don't even know. But she doesn't generate heat, so it wouldn't, like, she can't transport heat like that, right? That's in violation of thermodynamics, right? I don't know. I mean, I guess there's some organ activity. It's just not as strong as with... I'm, like, aggressively squinting trying to figure this out. Guess I should ask a herpetologist, right? That's the people who do lizards, herpetologists. No, not serology. It's herpetology. Creeping animal or lizard. Herp derp. Standing back to my full heart and cough and challenge her. Why don't you show me why they call you Hot Wheels? That's why we're here in a way. She untenses slightly as I move back. How intimate. Oh, he made it intimate. I almost missed that important detail. He untenses slightly as I move back, but her mouth is still clasped shut as she wrings her hands. Fuck, I hope I didn't make things weird just now. I like how Anon keeps stumbling into this shit, even though he should be trying to avoid it with a 10-foot pole. Well, after all the hype, I think I owed you one after you almost... Well, after all the hype, I think I'm owed it after you almost took my hand. Her timidity melts away as she glances off into... The timidity melts away as she stares off into the darkness towards Fighting Game Alley. The cheers and hollers therein, beckoning us both forward. Her demeanor suddenly shifts to cocksure. Why does this suddenly feel out of place? Something going on with my brain. Like, it's not even used that much. Yeah, I think it's just me. The demeanor suddenly shifts to cocksure. She predatorily runs her tongue across her scissors. I may take it as payment for the privilege, she jokes, as she makes her way towards the infamous cabinet. Oh, didn't they mention that? I forgot. Honestly, even if she wasn't joking, I may have actually been tempted to pay it. To pay it? Oh, the hand. See, this is why this kind of stuff kind of sucks, right? Is it interrupts your flow of thoughts, and in a sense, it can cause you to miss jokes that are really just about instant back and forth. Like, why don't we put this somewhere else? We take this away so that this works as a gag, and then we just put it after that. You don't need this to happen here and now, right? I follow after her, very eager to see what all the fuss was all about. What that nickname means to her. Damien gave his few cents, and Mia had her own reasons for weaponizing it. But Olivia has only disregarded it up to now. As we slice our way through the ticketing crowds, Olivia keeps looking back to ensure I'm following. The pachinko machine section, Jesus, is fucking massive. And Olivia gives Olivia quite the runway to bowl through crowds of Oblivious dinos. I follow after her in her wake, giving a sympathetic smile and shrug, hoping that she doesn't get to beat my ass today. Getting closer, the atmosphere changes entirely. The air grows heavy and stale, and each musty breath closer to physically burning. Dear God, if he wasn't joking. These freaks freak! Anon, at least you're not these freaks. Most everyone here is either a gangly skeleton or inflated big and round. Kudos if you know what that one's about. Hey, I heard that you were talking about exterminating the entire African-American race. Oh, hi, friend. I would inflate you big and... God damn, that fucking... Ah! Man. As much as I don't have anything against furries, that man... Woof. Fucking, like, poster. You could frame it. Put it on the wall. I have to settle for shallow breaths in my mouth. And even that's probably gonna give me a fungal infection. It's as humid as I've ever felt. You can feel the water condensing in the air. Like I was delving into a dungeon to interact with the worst tribe on Earth. Fucking gamer sweats. Ugh. It's like RuneScape Chunkmen, but worse. Also, honestly, you could make this work a little better if you described the humidity and then described, like, pushing people aside like trees. Like, actually made it feel like a jungle to me. But hey, we're getting better. Chapter 7 is doing that thing nothing to something did where it suddenly caught me off guard. So Chapter 8's gonna do the heavy lifting now. Is this a happenstance or not? Olivia seems unaffected. Even take... This is cute, the whole V joke. It's not overdone, it's not too much niche. It's just cute, like, damn. Olivia seems unaffected, even taking a deep breath with a wistful reminiscence on her face. Oh God, she's a freak too. Her spotless head hanging down over the crowd, her neck trailing off into the darkness. How does she navigate up there? Are there like little guide lights? Okay, I think we're gonna stop when we get to the new champ section, which is not too much further. Yo, you found us!
Yaha! You found us!
Damien calls out, waving above the crowd at us. He gives me a golden poop and says I can use it to expand my inventory. I prefer to expand my inventory, but whatever. The two come into clear view, though Liz is still just a floating head. She's a spooky ghost. Wasn't that like a thing that scared Inko in this one too? Olivia throws a final glance back to ensure I kept up before zipping past us all and halting right beside an occupied cabinet. She plucks a coin from it and clinks it down upon the controls of the current player, who doesn't deign to look at her. Oh, brother! Oh, brother! This guy stinks! The guy she challenges is a fucking chatterbox. I love how we're just skipping this. Why didn't you do this before? The dude starts yapping about his credentials as if he's hot shit.
I'm the best Raskik player this side of Full Kill. They're right, double S ranked on 3 online tournaments, and besides, this is 50. It's 50 cents, not.
Shut up and nut up. No, it's put up, please. Anon's gonna bust the nut. with this BDSM tour you're giving. Olivia slams a second coin on the deck and glares at the greasy ankylosaur. I honestly can't wait to see this guy get creamed by Olivia. His ratty, short blonde hair glimmers like plastic in this light. Really begging belief how greasy hair. I mean, I've had days like this, right? It disgusts me that's on my head. Like, I've had hair days where I'm like, man, I'm going in a shower and I'm not coming out until every hair can be made into a nice fine rope. Dry and crumbly. The fat ass grimaces the grimace shake and turns to his would-be opponent.
You really want to try me? Look, Tiny Tim, you gotta know I'm...
He locks his jaw shut, rubbing madly at his eyes to look at something in real life that is not displayed in blue LED light. Why is it blue? Put some filters on there.
Bro, you can't be bringing chairs over here, not after last summer.
Oof, this guy's dying tonight. Olivia growls and raises her fist, and the guy finally gets a full picture of his challenge here. His gullet? Does he have jowls? Is he like a big neck? Flaps wordlessly as he tries to backpedal before totally stop. Where did that spit go? I saw a little spit fly out of my mouth, and it landed somewhere, and I'm terrified that it might have landed somewhere vulnerable.
Never mind, sorry.
Why does that hurt my mouth to say? He speaks like his tongue takes up 90%.
Never mind, sorry.
He speaks like his tongue takes up 90% of his skull. He's about a stereotypical gamer nerd as can be. But look at a picture of this guy, and you're probably more right than wrong about how he sounds. The Gator Girl... Why are you calling her the Gator Girl? Like, the Gator Girl implies like you don't know her, and she's like a tertiary element when she's like the focus point, and someone you know. Sighs in exasperation and taps two fingers on her 2 coins on the cabinet deck. Rules say you can't refuse, right? He cocks his head in confusion, still reeling from his social faux pas. This dude never talks to girl, so this is definitely a devastation he'll repay later.
Look. You know.
You look to be the new champ here, right?
Yeah. How did you...
This is the champ's cabinet, right? Oh shit, deep lore? It's like watching 2 demigods try and size each other up before the smackdown. Discreet balls way out of his depth. That's it for now. Next time more, we're like halfway-ish.